Hey guys, we're here. It's 410 Sports Talk. It's another post-game show. Disappointing post-game show. We've had a lot of these this offseason. This might be the most disappointing based on the outcome of the game, what it means for the rest of the season, and our playoff hopes. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin. We're here to talk about it. Of course, if you guys don't already know, the Baltimore Ravens just lost to the New England Patriots 28-24. All this getting excited, all this sucking me back in, all this having me convinced that we can be a rugged, veteran, tough team with experience means nothing. Look, with this loss, of course, the Ravens, it means they're no longer in control of their playoff hopes and dreams because now they need the Steelers to lose to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about it, everything that went on. There's a lot to talk about in this game. Glenn, where you want to start, dude? Anyway, go ahead. Wherever you'd like.
Well, it just felt like this game was a good representation of this entire season, where we can look like two completely different offenses. If adversity hits, seems like the team just can't fight back against it. We continue to see the same guys fumbling the ball. Derrick Henry, another costly fumble after not having any for weeks. Started the season with some really bad fumbles and some bad situations, then kind of eliminated that after removing the sleeves. The fumble comes back out. Zay Flowers continuing to dance instead of getting upfield, particularly on that play, getting out of bounds to stop the clock and just racing to the sideline. No, tries to do too much. And as soon as he did it, I'm going, no! And here comes the punch. Mark Andrews putting the ball in the dirt. Got lucky that it was a penalty. But that should have been a fumble as well. But, the story of the game to me is certainly the absence of Lamar Jackson after the knee to the back on the scramble, and then the disappearance of Derrick Henry down the stretch, despite the fact that he had 18 carries for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
The 2 final drives, no Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was on the field 0 times. Absolutely 0 times. I'm going to say this as nicely as I can say it, but I think a lot of people are going to judge Lamar Jackson based on what this injury ends up being. I think it will be a stain that will remain with him for a long time based on what the outcome of this injury is. It looks terrible, my opinion only, and I believe I'm not the only one in this camp.
Yeah.
When you are dapping up, walking around, you're on the sideline. Not saying that's the same thing as being on the field, but if we're talking about a bruised rib, if we're talking about a pain tolerance thing, it's not going to look good to the face, to the fans, to the people out there that are watching this game. I mean, you and I have seen this before. I mean, Tony, this a knee to the back basically ruined Tony Romo's career.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying it might not be worse. It could very well be, but if it comes out as a bruise, as a contusion, I don't want to hear any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. Certainly, all the Lamar haters will be, using this as ammunition. But even those who support are going to go, "What was the injury? Was it a broken rib? Was it a, some sort of knee to the spine or something? What was it that could prevent Lamar from going back out there in the biggest game of the season when his team needed him?" I mean, I think Tyler Huntley is about as well as you could expect from a backup quarterback getting thrown into it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a backup for a reason, and the offense obviously loses a lot when Lamar goes out.
Yep.
I think that they are going to fans are going to be very, very critical of him unless it comes out that he has like a broken rib or something like that. Daniel Bernstein says, "I hate this generation of athletes. So sick of Zay, etc. All smiles, dapping up after blowing it and getting paid millions. Lamar out with a muscle. Yeah, I don't know what the injury was. It didn't look bad, especially because they're calling it a knee, but it looked like the knee hit where the protector is, where the padding that he wears around his body that pretty much every quarterback does. I don't understand. I can't wait to hear more about it, but I agree, though. I tend to agree with wanting to see them look a little bit more disappointed, kind of like how the fans are. And I don't love seeing smiles and happiness after the loss.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100% there. I don't like to his point. I mean, and everybody does this. Certainly this isn't our team, but we've said it before. feel like a bit of front runners, right?
Yeah.
Everything's going great. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Everybody's beating their chest. But as soon as things go bad, something that is self-inflicted that you did to yourself, everybody's pouting and throwing their gloves on the ground. What are we doing here, guys? No one did this to you. You did this to you. Right?
Yeah, mental toughness is not the best on this team.
No, this team has a low football IQ. I'm assuming you're referencing the players and the coaches, is my guess. I don't know. I don't understand the Derrick Henry mystery. As mysterious as Lamar's injury is to me, I think now it is more mysterious that Derrick Henry, who just dominated their entire offense, who we had a absolutely momentum swing in that drive, doesn't then turn around and see the field. Derrick Henry didn't see the field. This is blowing my mind. And you know what is crazy, Glenn, about this game? The most egregious thing about this to me is that we're hanging on by a thread, and we need to keep them from a first down. You're telling me that they're running the football, and you can't get a hand on the running back until he passes the line of scrimmage. Until he passes the first down marker on that first down they needed. That was just, of course, there's a lot of things that went wrong here, and the turnovers, like you talked about, mistakes we can't have, but that just was the end all be all for me. I was like, oh my goodness, there's no soul left. Nothing left here. No belief, no fight, nothing, man. Everyone's ready to pack it up and go on vacation.
Yeah, board certified DJ says fire everyone now. No Henry is negligent. Yeah, it is weird. And now unless it comes out that he had something that wasn't obvious to the eye of seeing him stand on the sideline, then maybe. But you're not going to sell me on the fact that there's any situational, game sense or any of this that could tell you to take him off the field for the last 2 drives when he's been dominant. Maybe you could even somehow spin it on the last drive because you could say, well, he's not the best pass protector and he's not your best pass catcher. Okay. The drive before, you're running it. You ran it multiple times to Keaton Mitchell, who averaged 1.4 yards per carry on the day, to Derrick Henry's 7.1.
Yeah.
You cannot convince me otherwise, unless there's an injury. You just can't. And look, the defense let us down tonight too. I thought they had some moments early on. Marlon Humphrey had the big interception in the red zone that was huge. But to let their pass catchers go bonkers. Stephon Diggs, 9 catches, 138. Mac Hollins, 7 catches, 69 yards. Kyle Williams had the big touchdown catch.
This was our matchup. Right. We talked about this. This was our matchup that favored our defensive backs. And Diggs is a good player, but he's not taking the top off.
No.
Not taking the top off the defense. And I felt like we had a chance. Like you said in our preview show, felt good about the fact that these matchups favored us in the majority of the scenarios. Yep. Didn't look like that tonight. Sean Pixer said, I can't even be mad. This has literally been their season. Fumbles, and fumbles. Not even worth it to get upset anymore. I appreciate you saying that, Sean. I believe a part of you is upset, though. I believe a part of you is upset.
Yeah.
You might just be numb right now is where you're at, right? You're just kind of numb to it all. Shout out to Glenn, to your point. Where is this? I just read this. Hold on. Dang. Oh, Jeff Zrebeck. I want to read this tweet because I think this is, to your point, exactly what he said. This game in a nutshell is who the Ravens have been in recent seasons at the biggest moments, right? They've come up small. Offense made mistakes at the worst times, usually by top players. Defense can't get stops. And then on top of it all, curious coaching decisions, always a part of it, right? Lots of oddities about this game and weird questions about this game. Ravens O's Nation says, I think I'm ready for a full rehaul, including man. Oof. I'm certainly not ready for a $73 million hit or whatever that is.
This isn't the Dolphins with Tua here. But I get why he said. I get that. I don't think he's going to be alone in saying this. I think a lot of people are going to criticize the heck out of Lamar, especially when they show him on camera at the end, which didn't do him any favors when they're showing him on camera and he's laughing on the sideline. That didn't do it for the optics standpoint. But
let me ask you a question. I don't know. We don't know what the injury was, but ultimately, this to me, he's got to know he's up for an extension. Does he I don't think that this is a good look to then turn around and say, hey, Eric, I need to be the highest paid player in history right now.
Well, him getting an extension is going to do the Ravens more favors
Right.
than anything.
But the Ravens could look at this extension now differently.
Well, they
And maybe
could,
do something shorter. And I'm just saying, imagine if he goes out there, finishes this game, and then we eke this one out, right? We just eke it out, and then we get to that Steelers game, right? To me, all that could be totally different. This whole narrative could be totally different if we eke this one out.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. Yeah, I mean, this would have been huge. I thought the Lions blew it against the Steelers, but the Steelers look good right now. They're playing really good football. Yeah, and I was thinking, hey, DK Metcalf might be suspended for our game after he punched a fan on the sidelines, pulled his hair, and then threw a right cross to a fan leaning over the front row. I'm like, okay, they're not going to have DK because you got to give more than a 1-game suspension for punching a fan,
right?
But ultimately, it doesn't look like it's going to matter if they take care of business next week against the Browns. It doesn't matter what we do in Green Bay.
Yeah, the freaking Browns, dude. Oh, my gosh.
Gregory says, tough loss today, but I'm sure Coach Harbs will rally the troops and have the guys ready to play and win next game. Just got a few loose ends to tie up.
It doesn't even matter. We could win all the games into oblivion that are on the rest of our schedule, Greg. That's the thing. The Steelers aren't losing to the Browns.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that they would. Yeah, even though look, Myles Garrett's going to have a lot to play for. He's going for the single-season sack record, but no, he didn't get it today. No, but he's right on the precipice, so we'll see if he gets it next week. But either way, like Jimmy said, I don't see any world in which they lose to the Browns. Not with that offense, especially with Judkins breaking his leg today. That's right. Killer.
And with so much on the line, like, dude, just win this game and you don't got to deal with the Ravens. Not that we're incredible, but certainly it's a much more difficult proposition to beat us than the Browns. Like, just deal with business now. I mean, anyway, my gosh. What a tough one. Relying on the Browns, ? I'll see y'all next year. Yeah, Jaden, good point. It's just pointless. Like, so frustrating, man. So much hope. How do the Ravens do this to me, Glenn?
I know. And they looked so good. Looked like a continuation of the previous week. That first drive was textbook, perfect. And then the second drive, they're hitting on all cylinders, doing whatever the hell they wanted. The fumble happens and everything changes. Everything. Like, and you know what? I say, and we just said it, that I like to see the athletes, be just as upset as the fans when things aren't going well. I almost wonder if Derrick Henry takes it too hard, lets it get to him too much. Doesn't he kind of sulks a little too long about it and needs to get just.
Well, I think that John should have put him back on the field earlier.
Right away. Get it out of his head,
get it out of his system, and because you need him. I had the same exact thought when you saw him sitting on the bench. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I struggle to punish my older son because he takes it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is negotiating for his life anytime I'm gonna punish. You know what I mean? It's just straight up. I love you. Like, I'm sorry. He's all over the place. I'm like, dude, calm down. It's like a 2-minute punishment on the steps.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be fine. But like, Derek's sitting there, like, just taking it. And I think, to your point, he should have been out there immediately. And so Craig, your point here, a bruise / pulled muscle in the back is excruciating. I've had a pulled lat that has put me on the ground throwing a football. Good luck. I totally agree to a certain extent. I also know that training staff is loaded, cocked and loaded with anything to make any part of your body numb within seconds. Like, don't tell me they can't load him up. Like, dude, I'm walking over there, like, open up the jacket. Give me all of it. Like, if that's what it really is, just give it to me. I'll deal with it later. But I'm not dealing with it right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, we don't know. Ultimately, the injury could come out and it could be horrible. But it didn't look it when you see him on the sideline hanging out. But it could. And then, we might be singing a different tune. But when it's such an innocuous looking play, like, it didn't look like anything happened. It looked like a knee hit the back protector. Like, I didn't see anything that make you go, oh, that looks like a rough one. So a lot of fans are going to have this reaction. They're going to say, man, you're getting paid all this money with all this on the line. Your teammates out there battling for their lives. They're going to say you should have taken a little painkiller and get back out there, as long as it's not something that is going to get worse. But again, if something comes out to where it is a severe injury, then, we could all be changing this tune pretty quick.
Yeah. Ultimately, we won't know, at least for the time being. But CJ Lavender says kidneys are located in your back. Kidney punches are illegal in combat sports for reason. Yeah, and that's right. I thought about the kidney too. This team finds every way possible to choke. No pass rusher really killed us.
Yeah.
We have to lead. What does it say? We have to lead the NFL in fumbles lost. Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, CJ, there was a few times we talked about this. We had to commit to getting after the quarterback. There were some times we were successful and times there weren't. But when we left our guys in situations with their own island, it didn't work. When they picked it up, there was one I can think of specifically where our Darius just got popped. He was blitzing the right side, got popped, it got stopped. And then, it was a big gain, short pass, but a big gain because we didn't, we weren't able to stay on our guy and then we weren't able to tackle. But that's what happens when you need to do all that generate pass rush. I am at least glad that they committed to it. They stayed committed to it. I would rather deal with that all day than sitting back in a zone and watching Drake May just dice us.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I agree. And Drake did well. I mean, he stood in there under some situations where they were getting a lot of heat, and he delivered some really nice down the field throws. We talked about it in the pregame show, how they like to push the ball down the field. And man, did they ever. They certainly did, particularly attacking the middle of the defense. Stephon Diggs he was really good. He was competitive out there. He was firing up the rest of the team. It was tough to watch. But, I mean, Drake May, you got to give a little bit of credit to him. He threw some really nice balls out there. Mac Hollins, I didn't think he would be the impactful player that he was in this one. He certainly was. That was tough, man. Tough to watch.
No kidding. Ugh. Brutal. Let's see. Joseph Eckert says the Ravens had a bunch of fourth quarter drives that ended with punts. Not a winning formula. Keep the offense on the field and run out the clock. So what did it say? We have 11 consecutive games where we had a 7-point lead or less in the fourth quarter and lost.
Wow.
Most in the NFL. I think it's most in NFL history. I'm not mistaken.
Also, by the way, we have the second fewest amount of sacks in the league.
Yeah.
22 sacks all year.
Yeah. So, I think you can look at two people primarily for that. For both of the things we just talked about. One, I think when you are losing close games like that, coaching decisions are a big deal. They're a huge deal. Second, you're talking about the second least amount of sacks, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we drafting? Who are we getting in the building? Like, there's no way at the end of the season, John should be sitting up there, pompous and exonerated. Eric should be sitting up there talking about this BS. Oh, I just hopped off my Peloton class. Let me talk about the Ravens' great drafting. Okay, Eric, well, what are you going to do about it, dude? We couldn't stop the rush, and we couldn't rush the ball. Like, don't sit up there like you're in your ivory tower talking about how we have no moves this offseason to do. Thankfully, you're wrong, dude. Like, oh, man, how did we fall so far, Glenn?
Yeah, it's tough to watch, man. It was I did not think – I just didn't think it would end this way. I guess we should have known. This is how it seems like it's been ending a lot.
They sell us a dream, don't they?
Yeah, I tell you, man, I better not hear, a lineman just didn't fall to us. It wasn't a good spot. I better not hear that shit in this upcoming draft. Kevin Johnson says Harb's IQ is 75 or gambling is involved, one or the other. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a lot of frustration. I think that Derrick Henry thing is going to piss a lot of people off. It's like, again, we're seeing this shit where he's dominant and then he just vanishes for no good reason. And it's not like they went completely pass heavy and they threw the ball the rest of the game, which would still piss people off. No, they ran to Keaton. And look, we like Keaton, but it was pretty clear. Like, you have to read the room, see what's going on. At this game, Keaton Mitchell was very ineffective. 9 carries, 13 yards. The opposite could be said for Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 128. Like, go with what's working. I just don't understand the logic behind going, all right, on the second to last drive. Let me see if I can pull this up, because the second to last drive was the most egregious part and kind of had me the most pissed off. Here we go. Where we ended up punting. So we get the ball. We're down by 3.
Mm-hmm.
We go, let's see, 1st and 10, incompletion.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry's not on the field. We throw it to Rashad Bateman, Christian Gonzalez in coverage. Next play, 2nd and 10, Keaton Mitchell gets the ball, 4-yard run. Next play, 8-yard pass to DeAndre Hopkins, and you get the first down. Very next play, Keaton Mitchell, no gain, right up the middle. Next play, Tyler Huntley scrambles. Last play, 3-yard catch to Mark Andrews, and then we end up punting shortly thereafter. So, like you run it, you're running the ball, you're just not giving it to Derrick Henry, and then you ran a play action. So not only did you ran it to Keaton Mitchell, but you had Keaton on the field when you ran a play action, and to no one's surprise, the play action was ineffective. Well, I bet it'd have been a whole lot more effective if Derrick Henry was on the field.
Yeah, everything aligned, Glenn. All right, anybody remember this? You guys remember when Shaq fouled out in the Portland Trailblazers series? What was that, game 6? Kobe was 0-1. Kobe was young.
He said, I'll take it. I'll take it from here.
This is me. Like, I can handle this, right? And I think he had like 4 consecutive buckets in overtime or whatever. Was cool, calm, and collect. Like, everything lined up for that moment. This was Derrick Henry's Mariano Rivera game.
Yeah.
Like, and we saw it. The frustrating part is we saw it. Everything lined up. And then you just sweep the rug out from under us. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. And the other thing, too, I don't know. Maybe I kind of appreciate this about Derrick because he's not that guy. Dude, why are you not on the phone, like screaming at Monk?
You're in the ear of Harbs. Yeah.
Get me in the game. What is happening here?
Yep.
Like, because this is the game where we already knew what their defense was as far as stopping the run in the second half of the year. It was apparent. We saw it on the field. And Derrick is the type of runner, even if you look at it stylistically, forget about the fact that Derrick is one of the best runners of the ball all the time. Think about the way he runs the ball, the way that he was being physically imposing on him, and the way our offensive line looked when he was out there running the football. Why are we just not valuing any of this, not recognizing any of this? Oh, man, it is going to kill me for a long time. I won't understand it. And I'll tell you another thing, Glenn. For any media member that listens to our show, I swear, ask these questions. Like, we need to know. We deserve these answers. Don't tippy-toe around this crap, man.
Yeah. Well, I think they're once again they're gonna lob them some softballs at fear of losing press pass. Mr. Gonzi says, honestly thought Huntley and the offense set us up to win the fourth quarter once again. This defense can't make a play late to win the game. Yeah, I mean they couldn't. Marlon Humphrey, while he made a great play early on in the red zone with a fantastic interception when the ball again was in front of him, but he struggles when the ball's over his head. When he can't seem to locate the ball. He gave up a big catch to Kyle Williams. He gave up multiple big catches to Stephon Diggs, which kind of surprised me. I thought Marlon would do better, but the biggest was what?
John Harbaugh just said it's a bruise. Just got up at his press conference, said it's a bruise of some kind. It's a bruise!
Oof. Yeah, bruise. Oof. Lie to me, coach.
You want to see it? You want to see the clip?
No, I want coach to lie to me.
I can pull it up if you want.
I want him to not say it's a bruise. A bruise?
I'm pulling it up.
Pull it up.
I have to.
Not for a bruise, bruh.
Am I going to get dinged, DK?
Hold on. We got 42-year-old. Isn't Aaron Rodgers 42 years old and he's out there playing with a broken left hand where he can't even hand the ball off?
42, dude.
He couldn't even hand the ball off with his left hand, and we're missing games for a bruise.
Glenn, do you remember Michael McCrary in the Super Bowl? He had a shattered knuckle. Almost had to get his finger removed. They told him he's not playing anymore. He looked at him like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
I'm playing in this game. I don't care if later on you got to take my finger off. It doesn't matter.
Ronnie Lott lost a finger in game. He kept playing.
All right. You ready for this?
Oh, no.
Am I going to get dinged for anything here, DK? Am I good?
You said you're good.
All right. Tell me if you can't. Tell me if you can't hear it. Just butt in.
It's a bruise of some kind, I think. I don't know how serious it'll be. We'll have to find out the next couple of days. He got kneed in the back, on the ground there.
Saw that, right?
Yeah. Ouch. Corey C says, fire the whole coaching staff. Couldn't even stop the run in the final 2 minutes. Orr's been
That's what I
trashed.
said. Yeah.
He's definitely been good, but because we played trash quarterbacks. Oh, the reason the defense has been good is because we played trash quarterbacks. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue with that when you look at the opportunities they had to play good quarterbacks outside of Joe Burrow. They haven't really fared well. Now, they did really good against Joe Burrow and a really high-powered offensive Bengals team, which, by the way, in a game that didn't matter, today put up, 50? Like, they absolutely went off. They went crazy today. So they have done well against one good quarterback. And if you count Caleb Williams in that camp, I guess that would be 2. But I don't know if Jimmy's going to put Caleb in that camp, even though they had a pretty big win on Thursday. But I see what you're
with
saying.
a backup quarterback.
Huh?
Like Love wasn't out there.
Oh, well, yeah.
Against
but
the backup quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's true. But Love doesn't play defense. And Malik.
No, I know, but I'm saying I like to believe they would have put up more points and put that game out of reach.
Malik played a pretty good game.
He did. He came in and played valiantly. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I mean, I think stopping the run, yeah, you got to do a better job. Especially when you consider Henderson was out, knocked out of the game, had bumped his head on the turf and was gone. So they were down to just Ramondre Stevenson, and that's all they needed.
Yeah. Same crap, different day. It'll never change. You might be right, my friend, until we change who it is that's making the calls, getting the players, and ultimately the players on the field. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Thank God this season is done. Harbs is done. Take a perk, Lamar. Is this draft class crap? All great questions, which unfortunately we'll have to be digging into here at some point here in the near future.
Lamar, take a perk. I mean, yeah, people are going to say, man, you couldn't have gotten a little pain shot?
Dude.
A little pain shot? I mean, these guys are all playing through some tough injuries. To come out and say it's a bruise,
bro.
I mean, I know there's a lot of Lamar defenders that are going to still come to his defense here, but a bruise?
Dude, my mom, and your dad probably does the same thing. My mom still talks about the way Johnny Unitas would get destroyed back there.
Oh.
And just get
decapitated.
Yeah, just absolutely ruined, right? Like, gosh, man.
Yeah, that's not what you
want to say. Tom the Virgo, does Harbaugh have something against Derrick Henry leading us to a win? He was wearing New England defense. 128 yards. Even Collinsworth said the Patriots would be thankful Henry's on the sideline. Right. Can't make this stuff up. It was just perplexing. Absolutely perplexing, Tone. Agree with you 100%.
They'll say game script. They'll say this. They'll say a bunch of BS is what they'll say.
100%.
But yet they ran the ball to Keaton Mitchell and play action faked it to him when the game was on the line.
Yep. Ridiculous. What else we got, DK? Lex Nation, Lamar was injured on a play that should have never been called. We took out Henry for Mitchell and then Ali and then made an injured quarterback run through a defensive line. I don't know if I agree with that wholeheartedly. I was fine with the play call. There's got to be a dimension of Lamar's game.
Yeah, I think it's super important that his legs are at least shown to be a threat at least a couple times a game. It just opens up everything up. And yeah, I mean, you're playing football, so you're sometimes going to get tackled.
Going to get kneed in the back. Par for the course. Sean Pisker says, side note, Wiggins doesn't drop that ball that hits him in the chest. This might be a different game, but again, not upset at all. Yeah, I'm not upset. Seriously, though, dude, man, if Wiggins would have made that
I know.
I'm almost not upset at defenders anymore for not making those plays because Glenn said it best. It's the reason they're playing defense.
Yeah.
Like, how much can we expect of their hands?
Oh, man.
That would have been because he read it all the way. He knew that thing was. Oh, man.
Or Darius, if Darius would have gotten his hand on that one.
Yeah.
That diving one, he dives, it just barely goes over his fingertips. Oh my gosh, he read it perfectly, just a split second late. And if he was maybe 3 inches taller,
or at least the reach.
At least the reach.
Harb's throwing Lamar under the bus again. Why say it's a bruise without giving the severity or location? He has to go.
Well, that's a good point. I think he could have done a little more to maybe.
He didn't want to answer that question. He
could have been like, it's a back injury. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, lie to me, coach. Don't say it's a bruise because that's just going to make.
Nah, but you know why he's doing that? Because he's pissed too, just like all the rest of us.
Or he maybe at least surprised.
You don't think John's like, let me tell you what. You guys can say whatever you want about John Harbaugh, but fringe players, guys that grew up playing football like John Harbaugh that were on the fringe of rosters, were playing under any conditions. They were out there because if not, they were losing their chance. When you're a front runner, it's different. Lamar's gonna have options till the cows come home, right?
Yeah.
When you're a fringe player, you don't have them. So John has that mentality. Just is what it is. Never going to change.
Yeah. Hockey Fever says, guys, it turns out it is indeed just a bruise. And I hate to say it, but Nick Wright is right about Lamar. Guys play with broken bones. And that's going to be the sentiment. They're going to say, look, these guys are all out here playing beat up. I mean, these guys are
freaking T.O. in the Super Bowl, dude. You remember that?
Oh, my
Was it a broken leg?
Yeah, broken leg.
Balling out.
I mean, look at Daniel Jones this year. This dude was playing with a broken fibia or tibia, one of them. I can't remember which ibia it was, but it was one of the ibias. And then he goes out there and now it ended up, ending really poorly for him with popping the Achilles. But just goes to show you these guys are out here playing through some serious injuries, and to come out and say that it was just a bruise, it's just not going to land well. It's just not. Now, if he's fractured.
I don't think there's anybody working a double shift down at H&S Bakery down here in Fells Point and has got some bruises and some knee pain and some back pain and some. Come on,
I mean,
man.
Look, again, if it comes out that he's got broken bone, then it's different
story.
But a bruise is hard to. It's like, come on, bro, a bruise.
Yeah, it's a different story. As anything that's just a pain tolerance thing and not a detriment to future. Yeah. If it's just a pain tolerance thing, dude, you just keep going.
Yeah.
You got to keep going. You got to fight.
Exactly. Yeah, Herbert's hand. Yeah, Herbert out there playing with a broken bone in his hand. Yeah, it's kind of, and now look, it's not obviously all on Lamar here. The defense definitely had its fair share of blame. The coaching staff. I mean, I'm still never going to be convinced that Derrick Henry should ever have been off the field during those plays.
I think that as perplexing as Lamar's situation is, it is more egregious what happened with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Right now to me. Because if Lamar's saying he's injured, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But you can easily put Derrick out there. And you live and die with the results. But this is the moment. This is why you paid him. In this game today, Derrick Henry could have earned every dollar of that contract. Imagine we win this game and then we end up, playing in a life or death situation. The Steelers, we get in the playoffs, not the Super Bowl, the playoffs. Different situation. The entire season, everything hung in the balance. And it just, by
the way, shout out to Tez Walker for recording a sack today on the fake punt.
Did he get a sack?
Dude, he gets credit for a sack. Good stuff. Shout out to Tez for that. It's pretty. You got a QB hit. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It was the damn punt protector.
And look, see, here we go. Here we go, man. Anything short of an exploding kidney. I never said that. I just said if it was dude, if he's got a vertebrae issue, if he's got a cracked rib, I'm not come on, man. There's guys out here playing through this. Don't give me this.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to hear it.
You know what we said. Quit being goofy. You know what we said.
Come on, man.
Exploding kidney. Get out of here. We were talking about it better be something more than a bruise. That's what we said. Better be more than a bruise.
Right.
Jumping to exploding kidney. Come on.
Bro.
Stop it. A bruise. A bruise.
I mean, look, he doesn't have to be David Goggins out here, but he had to break all the bones in his feet and piss blood, but he's got to fight through something, man. Come on.
We're talking about a bruise, bruh. A bruise.
Oh my gosh. I would call the Vikings. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say, I would call the Vikings for Brian Flores. He wouldn't put up with that crap. I thought he was a good coach. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I like Brian Flores. It's fine. I don't have a problem with him, but
I get nervous hiring defensive head coaches right now in the league. I don't know. That's maybe that's not rational or not logical. I mean, obviously McDonald's doing great.
Yeah.
Killing it. So my whole logic or my whole theory is destroyed, but I don't know. I get nervous about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
Harb's saying bruise, put the focus on Lamar, not the fact that he lost an 11-point lead. Don't fall for it. Yeah, I mean, look, we just got done saying this is not all on Lamar. This is on the defense. This is on the coaching staff not putting Derrick Henry in there. It's on the fumbling from Zay Flowers trying to do way too much. Derrick Henry, I thought that fumble was a lot of ways forced by the defense. I thought they made a really nice play on it. I mean, he gets hit, which kind of exposes the ball, and then a perfect punch to knock it out, but you still can't have it. I mean, you still got to make that play. I thought that there's plenty of blame to go around, but you still got to. I still think if it's just a bruise, you got to find a way to get out there. I mean,
yeah, and Lamar, you just got to stand at the podium and answer to that too. I'm sorry. Yeah, answer to that, my man.
Yeah. I mean,
Goodness gracious.
And then Tyler Lue, I mean, I can't believe he came up short on a 56
short, and he's got the leg. We know
Like,
he's
how-
got the leg because he can't even keep it in the freaking target. What is it called? The target zone?
Yeah.
The landing zone, whatever it's called. During kickoffs, he boots the heck out of it, and you come up short on that?
Yeah. I'm shocked. I can understand missing left or right, but you should never leave the kick short if you don't have the leg. I mean, what are we doing here?
Crazy, dude.
Even though that ultimately wouldn't have mattered, they won by 4, but who knows how that changes the game momentum wise. It could have made a difference there. Man, I'm trying to think of anything else that we should talk about, but I tell you, it was a bit of a disappointment. Tavius Robinson going from such an impactful game to a game where he didn't really record a stat on mine.
No.
Maybe he had some.
Did he have some hurries? I was gonna say I felt like he was active.
Yeah, he had some hurries.
Yeah, I mean, he was there. He was in the vicinity, but yeah, certainly not the same.
Man, our Darius looked good out there, though, man, didn't he? Came up just short of that one, but he had the sack.
Playmaker, dude.
Yeah.
And the strip. Is that what you're talking about? Was that recorded as a sack as well? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. He's just a playmaker, dude. Did he have a pass breakup too?
Well, he should have. Let's see here. Pass defense. No, he didn't, but he almost did. He was so close. But yeah, I mean, 4 sacks. It just seemed like it was so feast or famine with the sacks. It was like either we got to him or he just had all day.
Because it would fail, right? Like the schemed up blitz would get picked up, and that was it.
Yeah. Yep.
It was just stonewalled. Boom. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, definitely.
I thought the Zay Flowers play on the handoff was awesome. The
so
blocking
cool,
out
such
front.
a creative play, and yeah.
With Likely and Tez blocking out front along with Tyler Linderbaum, they all nailed it, and he kind of just skirted right through there. It was
and shout out to Tyler for executing on that play, and I know he's the backup, right? He's not ultimately. Shout out to him for executing on that play as well. That was fun. Yeah, that was a tough one, man. I mean, obviously we'll be back this week. We're gonna finish out the season, but yeah. I think that's it for us tonight, guys. We'll commiserate longer, Wednesday night as well. We'll talk about it. And if there's a snowball's chance, and I mean, I don't think there's a snowball's chance in heck that they lose to the Browns, but we'll hope for it.
We'll hope for it. I mean, maybe DK Metcalf won't be out there. That might help.
Yeah, that's true.
It might help.
Maybe old Myles Garrett will get after Rodgers early in that game, and then they'll have Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph is scared of Myles Garrett. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, they have a bit of a history. Yeah,
he's like, Coach Aaron, if you make it through any game, it's got to be this one, bro, because I ain't playing.
Yep.
But that's it for us tonight, folks. We'll be back soon, and that's it. Nothing else to say. See ya.